You know, what do you want? The ball's in your court, this is what it's gonna cost. So that'll give us an idea, you know, on, and that board that they put down, like Richland High, has got nail pops up there. You know, the nails have started backing up, and if you step wrong, it goes through the asphalt on top. So then you have to drive that back down, fix that hole before you get off the roof. This board that they put down takes care of all of that. These nails won't pop back up through there. So basically, they're gonna go up with 4x8 sheets and coat that whole roof with this hard board, and then lay a new roof over the top of it.
You can take a hammer and hit it, you won't make a dent in it.
Right.
I do know that.
It's supposed to be hail resistant up to 2 inch, I think.
On your drainage issue, what, you gonna put in French drains around like the Elton and all, or?
I have not had anybody come and give me a price on Elton yet. I was kinda holding off on this. Daniel, I already had to meet him at Minor Hill one day with Brendan. And, so Daniel, he said, I got my transit. He said, let me just shoot it, see what kind of a fall we have. We had plenty of fall, and basically what they're gonna do at Minor Hill, for the lack of a better term, is put a concrete ditch from one parking lot to the other. Then they'll have to build a walkway to go across the ditch to come in from the sidewalk.
No grade work in there?
No, not really. There will be some, but there won't be a tremendous amount, because
The road is higher than
the road is higher than the school, so basically it's like a concrete French, you know. When the water gets to there, it should shoot down to because we're a foot higher at this parking lot than this, so we've got plenty of fall along there. They'll have to reroute like the sidewalk going to the flagpole. I know Dr. Beard and Mr. Evans will know what I'm talking about. It'll actually come off the sidewalk rather than going straight to the building. Elkton, that's gonna be a completely, I'll have to get somebody down that's a civil engineer to, you know, I have ideas, that may not work, you know. There's already a drain at Elkton on that lower end, down where we've got the problem with pre-K. There's a square 2 foot by 2 foot grate out there. The problem is it's higher than the door, so it's, you know, whoever put that in initially, that's higher than the door, and it's probably had dirt washed in over the years and filled up around that. So, but I need to have somebody that can come in that can use a laser transit and all of this, say, look, we've gotta drop this, you know, 8 inches, 10 inches, whatever, and then, you know, but I'll have to have somebody come in and give us a price on that, but I would just estimate if they could do Minor Hills, and all of that takes concrete work, plus some grading for 32, hopefully, if it's just the fact of dropping a little dirt work down at Elkton, we should be able to do that for roughly the same price.
And tonight is really the discussion of knowing, you know, where the majority of this money is going, knowing that with the $500,000 suggestion, moving over, which, you know, get us back on par with, building up 177 and getting back on these capital projects to give us the ability to do these things. And then as Chuck and team and everybody kind of dials these in, then we'll be ready to make some approvals on what those look like. But this is kind of really get that ship off the ground, if you will. And then we did approve that movement in our budget amendment. We just kind of talking more about it now. Well, I guess since we've approved it in the budget amendment, we really don't have to do anything we're talking about. Yep.
We'll come back with any projects for approval.
And, I'd say, you know, let's keep working towards July 23rd work session with some updated information that you can get and all that. We're setting that money where it needs to be so that these other schools can get the attention they deserve. Same thing will be as we talk about renovation discussions, but we'll kind of talk about that a little bit tonight. You know, trying to leave Richland School out of the roof refurbishment, because if this board is going to dedicate the next school renovation to Richland, then that roof is gonna get a roof full replacement as opposed to refurbishment. Chuck, do you wanna speak a little bit to that? And we got some of these numbers, but you've broken out a lot of things, just like that roof, that were really elevating that price that Wold was giving us.
Well, they were off on their square footage, number one, and it's pretty much, that company does it like a cookie cutter thing. They just say, okay, the roof is gonna be $45 a square foot. The actual cost is probably closer to between 15 and 20, per square foot. They had Richland down as having to have 150,000 square foot of roofing. But they were counting square footage, and you've got the basement of the gym does not have a roof over it. It does, but it's included in the gym roof. And the gym roof is metal, and we've also had what we call the pink wing re-roofed already. It's got a standing seam metal roof. So that cuts us down between 90 and 100,000 square feet. So I think, their budgetary figure was 425 or maybe a little less. For that, I think we can, or 4.25 with it. I think I'm right. I don't have that figure in front of me.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking we can do that a whole lot cheaper than that. I'm thinking we can do that, between $1.5 million and $2 million, hopefully, if we can get the right people to bid on it.
And then the ballpark and breaking it into two different projects, if you will, at Richland, our first project,
Right.
including the roof, would be 5 million or less, somewhere around in there.
Yes.
And that gets us.
Yes, and that gives us some, aesthetics, for the lack of a better word for it, but like the trim metal at Richland. If you've been up there and seen the trim metal around the outside where they re-roofed it, it's this nice dark bronze color, and the original building from 78, whenever it opened, cause we were in elementary school when it opened, but say 78, that is more of a dirty brown, I'll just put it to you that way. And if it was freshened up, cause that building already has the storefront doors. It's not like Giles County High where you're gonna take out all of these big nasty windows and put these nice windows in. If you replace the doors, you're not gonna tell you've replaced the doors, it's already got them. LED lighting, we've already done all of that. Now, it's not it may not have the fancy grills, but it's got LED lighting. You're not gonna save money by changing out the light fixtures. Most of the units are 2014s, so they're not as old. But we can do the majority of the stuff that really, really needs to be done. The generator, get it moved outside the building. Cause right now it's in the boiler room. Get the boilers replaced out back. Get rid of that big water storage tank, get all of that stuff moved outside. Repair these doors that, which I'm gonna try to do that out of the capital projects that I talked about earlier. The door hardware that we've got problems with up there, or not really problems, but what the Homeland Security and all of them suggest that we do. That kind of stuff. And then the main electrical switch gear, that's replacing that. And see, but when they did like Giles County High, they had to do all the electrical at one time. So it was a big undertaking. If they can replace the switch gear at Richland, just the switch gear, then they can cut off one wing at a time then to do work. It won't be like, the whole building's gonna be out all summer. Once they get that done, then if they want later on in future projects, well, now we're gonna add a panel here and a panel here, they can just go back and kill the power going to that wing and work in there, and the rest of the building still operating. So it won't be a complete shutdown. You could still have your summer camps and things like that. They may just have to use these 2 wings versus these 2 wings.
And that alleviates a huge safety concern
Right.
with using 2x4s to throw a
Right.
switch. Hoping it sticks or hoping it,
Right.
whatever.
And all of those figures that we went off of to get that price were from Wold with Brindley doing it. So they may have cushion on other things. So we may not wind up that much, and it may wind up being a little more, you know, I don't know. I'm just going by their figures and what we can do and in the phases that we kinda need to, I feel like we need to do it.
Again, this is for continuing discussion, today. I think we can get some more, and just firm up some of these numbers and maybe do a little bit better comparison, contrast on where options are out there and which direction we wanna go. Maybe work session that on July 23rd and get us headed towards making our decision on which school is next, so on and so forth. Does that sound like a good plan to y'all? Cause this is kind of the second time that we kind of just, view from 35,000 feet, you know, and we get some harder numbers. Alright, and, I will give you guys, Pulaski Elementary School updates. They are more ahead of schedule at this time of the summer than they were on the other 2 projects. HVAC is complete, the door abatement is complete, and new slabs are in, new hardwares are in. As you heard, Chuck talk about like $1,000 a fixture on certain doors. There were some doors that we got some pullback, or got some money back on, that are getting taken care of in the new, electrical equipment or panel type room there. They had to add a door. Retail windows are finishing up this week. Retail doors on the outside are complete. Fire alarm, fire inspectors on schedule. Painting is ongoing, and they sure think that they can finish up that last week of July. And then Brindley has thrown in strip and finish on the floors also. So, are you guys seeing anything or excited about anything in particular since we're covering it, or?
Yeah, when you leave and you drive back by, go to Cedar Lane, because that entryway looks fabulous. The frosted glass are gone, they put the new windows up, looks very good. We do have a little bit of an issue that I spoke to Mr. Chuck about in the cafeteria, that was newly repainted. There's some questionable things growing on the wall right there that they're gonna take care of, we're a little unsure about. Probably from the electricity being cut off for the full month of
Just
June.
humidity,
In
that's
the
all.
cafeteria, I mean, it's very
Humidity,
humid.
moisture.
In the actual cafeteria.
Yes, where they eat, like the eating side, that back part.
Okay.
Not in your part, no,
Not
not
in
in
the-
the, not in the kitchen, not in the kitchen.
We got
in
mold in the
dining.
kitchen, ain't on, I gotta cancel.
Well, we're already on top of that and gonna get that addressed. But yes, the new doors in the hallway look very nice,
Awesome.
very nice and clean.
I'm glad that we made those decisions for sure. And then this is gonna come in right in where we're using up contingency and whatnot, but we're hoping for some good news not long on the total scope of these three projects of where we landed, budget wise. So, I won't say too much more than that, but I think, we've done a really good job. I had a really good meeting with Brindley and Wold yesterday, kind of just going over everything, and they're, definitely pleased with where they are in this project right now. So, moving right along with that, and thinking we'll be able to kind of potentially, schedule a ribbon cutting like this year instead of pushing it to the next year. So that can be something that we can look at, and obviously, get with, Ms. Derberry on that. Alright, that's kind of old business / updates, whatever. We have policies for first reading, policy 4.215, instructional use of digital devices policy. Dr. Beard.
This is the TSBA model policy with a couple of changes here. In talking with administrators and sending this model policy to admins, all of them, principals and assistant principals, and our supervisors, just for feedback on the model policy. It has been recommended from them, that we utilize this to be K-12 rather than K-5, as the model policy had stated. It says there that they shall be utilized in these grades only when there's a clear educational benefit, including use for remediation purposes. The basis is that teacher-led instruction would be the primary mode of instruction, and it asks for who would be responsible, the title of the employee. I really think that falls under Mrs. Tim's role. The instructional technology coordinator would create the process for ensuring that digital instruction complies, and then that would also be under principal oversight as they're doing observations and, as our supervisors do the walkthroughs and things of that nature. So also the social media use, we ask that that would be K-12 rather than the K-5, prohibited from accessing social media platforms using district provided internet during the school day. And we will get a message together if this is passed as to how that will be distributed to parents. Now, I know their open houses are all set, and that could be done through that, and we can also send school status and put notices on our web pages.
How have we been doing on cell phone policies and digital use and all that? Nope, I don't think we've really talked about it since. This looks like that kind of bolsters that up a little bit more, maybe more on making sure that primary mode of instruction is actual instruction. We've been good. I wanna make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's policy 4.215 approved on this first reading. Also wanna make note that Mrs. Gordon has joined us and Mrs. Smith has also joined us, just so it's in the meetings, and I know the meetings, the minutes were reflected correctly as well. Policies for a second reading, policy 5.106, application and employment.
This just requires a second reading. I think we already talked about this, so.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion? And this is talking about using E-Verify, which started July 1st as part of that update. No additional discussion. We'll put it to vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Policy 5.302, sick leave.
This changed with the recent legislative changes. 10-month employees will get 8 sick days per year, 11 months 9, 12 months 10. They also are adding the flexibility that some of that sick time would go into personal and professional leave. And part of bringing this back in the personal and professional leave up tonight too is that in discussing with finance and just again to take care of our employees, we would like the board to consider including classified employees in that as well. Because when you look at the personal and professional leave, it discusses professional employees shall earn 2 days for each half-year employee. It doesn't mention the classified, and to be able to keep up with this and have this consistent throughout our district, that would need to be applicable to them as well. So I didn't fix that, but we would put professional and classified employees would be the addition that we make to that policy. So, the two kind of go hand in hand, and that's the reason for them actually being brought back up for more discussion tonight, is that we would really like to see that be consistent.
There a motion
Motion
to
to
make that
approve.
amendment?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to also amend this policy to include classified employees. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed.
Just for minutes, or did we combine those two in a sense?
Is there any objection, since those two lean on each other, 5.302, 5.303, to how we voted on them together? No objections? Okay, and they are
I just
combined
wanted that to be reflective, so.
and both approved, so that's approval on 5.302, 5.303. Good. All right, we're at board comments. Well, hang on, it'll be public comment
Nope.
again.
Oh, well, like, we added the
Wait.
beginning in? We talked about doing it at the work
We
session.
do it
Doing it at the end of the work session
the
and beginning of our board meeting, so that any discussion from the work session could be from the board.
We're not happy.
You can give your board comment minutes to anybody else if you want to.
Well, it's nice to hear that our school renovation is ahead of schedule. And, Mr. Eddie, I want to thank you and your department for all the hard work that you all do for our schools. I know it's a big task. And, it's also nice to see that we've got people in our community, our booster club, and other people that want to support our athletes, and they want to put this air conditioning in that, I've been in that, room at any time.
Well, it's the 9th of July, that means August is just around the corner. I mean, it is flying by, summer's going, I know this is your busy time too, I mean, you're trying to do everything while everybody's out, so thank you for all your hard work in putting all this together, we really appreciate that. And, I just hope everybody enjoys the little bit of summer that we have left and are excited and ready to go for another good year.
I say ditto for all of that too. I'm excited to see this page here that we've got all these new employees and teachers and positions filled, and hopefully we'll have a good upcoming school year for sure.
I am noticing, and like somebody said, the summers just don't last, seem like they don't last very long. And, we're excited, especially to see the new hires and know that we have everybody basically we need to start off. And looking for a good year. And also, thanks for work on the, air conditioning and all that, cause that is so important. And realize that it is a tedious job, and, we appreciate it, and taking care of our students and teachers. And the roofs and the shows that they don't want. Yeah. So, thank you.
You done, Ms. Smith?
Oh, I'm done. Here. That was not a comment.
It's good to see that, amount of work that everybody's doing during summer to get ready for the next year. It's a never-ending thing trying to keep schools in the kind of shape we need, our kids need to be going through, and to be safe and, taken care of. And, the air conditioner in your building there, Coach, is, definitely needed with the kind of weather we've been having, and, kids coming in that need to cool down in a hurry, because, if they don't, they can be in trouble this kind of year, because unlike when we were growing up, Chuck, we were outside all the time, you can think about air conditioning. But, now things have changed, and, kind of a requirement for wherever you go, you get out of the heat. And, so it's a good thing for everybody to be headed in the right direction.
You know, Danny.
I just like to thank Chuck for getting the new prices on the roof to protect our, before we do it underneath them. I'd also like, if you don't mind, give see our highway department give them a big thank
I
you.
had no more
I'm
notes.
sorry, I
No,
didn't-
you go
No,
right
I'll let
ahead.
you finish
No,
that.
you go right ahead.
Highway department, trimmed out going to, Southside and, sheriff had some,
Trustees,
trustees over there picking up a little debris. Got that done, what, yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
phone calls were made on Tuesday and the work was done yesterday, so
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah. We got 3 more Thursdays.
Two
Two.
more.
I participated in today, I enjoyed it, we got wet.
You still aren't dry.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
You wanna know the numbers from that?
For today,
1,374
Yes.
today.
Wow.
do you know how many bananas, cause I still smell it.
She left the extras on it.
No, but that's a good program and, just seeing the individuals come through, you can tell they are thankful. Short summer is about over, everybody keep up the good work, appreciate it.
I'm gonna not say much today. I've enjoyed what we've been doing with Sonny, and sure do appreciate it. We gotta finish strong, 2 more weeks of it. And kudos to everybody that's just working through this. You know, it kills me. Folks think they know what they're talking about, teachers have it easy and they get the summers off, and it's just not the case. And I wish folks would understand that and appreciate what you guys seriously do. You know, and look at this board and your staff recognizing that certified needs to be treated as professionals as well. And so I think Giles County's headed in the right direction, and I love the fact that the school system, the school board, and the team that Dr. Beard and everyone's put together is leading the way on that, because I think that is fact. Dr. Beard, did you have anything?
I just wanna mention again, I know Mrs. Dearberry mentioned go Cedar Lane, but as you turn there at the four-way stop, be sure to look right at the drive to Southside, because they did do an amazing job, and, that came together really quickly. Like I said, there were some phone calls made to the highway department, Sheriff Purvis, and it was all put together in one day essentially. And, Ms. Hayes, did you wanna say, I mean, anything?
No, it looks amazing, and, you know, it's quick work, and I came by while they're doing some of it, and, you know, they kept the lane open, they didn't have to turn the lane down, so that was good too, because we had a training at school that day, and, it just looks so much better, and the limbs won't hang on the school buses now.
Right. And Mr. Eddie is looking at getting the left part of that as you go up Bush Hall.
Yes.
We're working on getting that taken care of as well, so a lot of moving parts right now, and it is a really busy season. You know, supervisors and central office staff don't get a whole lot of, and administrators don't get a whole lot of break over the summer, because they're planning and working and getting everything together, so, August 3rd is going to be here before we know it, so.
Work session July 23rd. See, general sessions start what?
General sessions is July 27th.
27th.
Yes, sir. That Monday, last Monday of the month.
And we'll have that board meeting on August 4th, and new things will be going on. Anybody got anything else? All right, who wants it?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any opposition?